Guys, this Blake Lively drama does not end. I'm telling you, we have new text messages that don't make her look good. People are saying that she was flirting with Justin Baldoni, and she is also trying to subpoena Justin Baldoni's text messages along with the rest of his team. She wants to see what the heck they were saying over the last 2.5 years. So let's get into everything that has been reported. The drama surrounding their legal battle over It Ends With Us has escalated big time, and we just got some major updates that are honestly wild. I mean, their SNL stunt this weekend still has people talking, and if you didn't see it, Blake and Ryan made an appearance at SNL 50, the anniversary special, on Sunday. It was their first joint public outing since the whole legal battle kicked off. During the special, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did this audience Q&A segment. Ryan Reynolds raised his hand and they asked him, "How's it going?" And instead of some PR safe answer, he just goes, "Great, why? What have you heard?" And immediately the room felt it. Like, sir, we have all heard something. It was giving, let's address the elephant in the room with humor. And honestly, not everyone loved it. People felt like it was making a joke out of the situation, which most felt like, under the circumstances of them suing Justin for one of which is harassment, everyone just felt like this was in poor taste. And people felt like, even Blake was caught off guard with this, the way that she looked in the sketch, but who knows? Obviously things on SNL are pre-planned. So I don't know if he just improv'd this one little answer, but they knew that they were going to call on him or what. I'm not sure, but it certainly was making a statement of them just attending in the first place, with some feeling like them showing up to SNL 50, walking the red carpet. It was them sending a message that Hollywood still accepts them and that they're unbothered, they're able to joke about the situation. But it just didn't sit right with a lot of people who were watching this at home. Now, aside from this situation, in regards to what's going on legally, Blake Lively has officially subpoenaed Justin Baldoni's text messages in their ongoing legal feud. This is part of her team's effort to dig up evidence of what they claim is a smear campaign against her. Basically, Blake and her legal team are saying that Justin, along with his crisis PR consultant and some of their other entities, were working behind the scenes to destroy and bury her reputation. They believe that the texts will expose the people involved and the methods they used to turn the narrative against Blake over the past year. Now, I will say this has been a huge debate online because a lot of people feel like without Justin and his team, Blake alone destroyed her own reputation. That, nobody made her say the things that she said during the press tour, promote her hair care line at the same time as It Ends With Us. Those were not things that Justin and his team planted in the press. Those were things that she willingly said in interviews and posted online to promote her own brand. And people feel like she herself took her own reputation down and that it was not Justin and his team. Her attorneys even put out a statement saying, "We will now receive all of the receipts that, unsurprisingly, are nowhere to be found on Mr. Friedman's website." The statement read, referencing Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, and like Miss Lively, those receipts will have their day in court. Justin's team, on the other hand, is calling this move an overreach, saying Blake and her lawyers are asking for every single call, text, data log, and even real-time location information for the past 2.5 years. His lawyer literally called it a massive fishing expedition and said it just proves that they're desperately searching for any factual basis for their claims. People reported in a letter to the court, Baldoni's lawyer, Mitchell Schuster, argued that Lively's subpoenas are flagrantly overbroad. "It is hard to overstate how broad, invasive, and atypical these subpoenas truly are," Schuster wrote. "This is civil litigation, not a criminal prosecution, and Lively and Reynolds are not the FBI." The court case isn't set to go to trial until March 2026, so there's still a long road ahead in this whole Hollywood legal saga. And just when you thought things couldn't get more chaotic, Justin's team seemed to have released some alleged text messages between him and Blake, some more of them, and they are interesting. Blake allegedly calls herself a ballbuster and describes her love language as spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth. Ryan Reynolds even gets involved at one point, and we see those messages, and a ton of people have been analyzing these messages since they have been released online. And these are messages that we have not seen before. And basically in February of 2023, that's when they have this conversation. Blake texts Justin and says, "Your friendship support helped me with that also, so thank you. Not holding to anything professionally, just thank you for the friendship side in the meantime." He texts back and says, "For real, I was worried about you. That's so much to hold. I'm really happy for you. I bet you feel 1,000 pounds lighter." She said, "I really, really do. Only 20 to go." And he sends laughing faces. And this was her basically venting about how she was feeling about her body postpartum and how supportive he was being of her. They text the next day. It's Valentine's Day. He says, "Perfect. Thanks. It's leftover from the book tour from months ago, but nice to see people still care about it." She sends clapping emojis. He says, "Been deep into writing. Really fun with you in mind. Fun, not right word, exciting." And she said, "You're safe here." And he sends a heart. Another text from February 28th, we see an exchange between Justin and Ryan. And Justin says, "Hey Ryan, Justin Baldoni here, the guy who brought his literal baggage to his meeting with your wife. I asked Blake for your number well over a month ago and have wanted to text you for a while now, but my good old nerves got the best of me. Emily and I have a very small circle. We've known all our closest friends for years, and I don't really have any close female friends that my wife isn't also friends with, let alone married ones. And so I guess this is just an awkward text to say I'd like to be friends. I'm glad there's no check yes or no box." He says, "Hey Justin, sorry for the delay. What a loving and generous message. Thank you. We're both looking forward to getting to know you and your family better. We're also big fans over here since before we met and more so after. You've been a wonderful collaborator with, and that meant a great deal to both of us. Being a stand-up person is everything, and you've been just that since day one. Thank you. I happen to adore you, Justin." Now in April of 2023, Blake says, "You're the absolute best. Thank you. And what you did inspired me. I love what we're gonna do. I can send you my pass at the roof or just read with you when we get together next week. Let me know what you prefer. If you knew me in person longer, you would have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting would play. It's my love language, spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth, and him serving it back to her is just as important. You don't usually see both the man and woman with such agency and humor. Anyway, I can act it out for you next week to make sure it comes through, or I can send now. Let me know what you prefer, XX." Justin says, "Sorry, was just crying my eyes out as kids and family just left for another 5 weeks and it was a ish show." And he says, "Yes, send. It's so important to the film and can't wait to play and find it. I agree so much. Lily needs to be strong and witty and playful and bold. That's why I wanted you. It's also one reason why I wanted to age her up. If a woman like you could fall into that relationship, then anyone could. And the more we love them, the more devastating Act 3 is." Now, some other things that have happened in relation to this case is that this week during the Freakonomics Radio live show Thursday night, Ari Emanuel, CEO of William Morris Endeavor, was asked about the whole Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation, as William Morris Endeavor, WME, is the agency that dropped Justin following Blake Lively's complaint coming out in December and that New York Times article. Ari, the CEO, was very vocal about his decision to stand by Blake and Ryan in this whole situation. As Deadline wrote, Ari Emanuel has been long known to consider loyalty a top virtue, and last night, the Endeavor CEO came out unabashedly for Team Blake in the convoluted and sprawling conflict between the It Ends With Us stars Ryan Reynolds and former WME client Justin Baldoni. "I am a ride or die, and they're good people. I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade," Emanuel said at a taping of the Freakonomics Radio live show Thursday night. "They're really incredible people," he added, "in Hollywood. They have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. They are charitable. We help them with their foundation. They've given tons of money away." He continued, "This is a effed up bad situation with what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing," Emanuel said. "Until I fired him," Emanuel said, "it's not really fair. I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. If what is alleged in her lawsuit, what happened on social media in terms of Baldoni allegedly planting negative stories about the actress is true, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on the set and that he was director and this man, Jamie Heath, was the producer, and they did that to her, what is being alleged? They're really bad people. I know Blake, I know Ryan, they're good people." So despite the fact that in the beginning, WME had come out and said that it wasn't Blake and Ryan in their ear as to why Justin was dropped from this agency, I think it seems very clear that that's quite literally exactly what happened. Their loyalty to Blake and Ryan and, wanting to believe that story in the New York Times is the reason why he was dropped from his agency. And I think, a lot of people read that New York Times article and read her complaint and were just like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. What is being alleged here? But as more and more has come out, a lot of people have been wondering if, WME jumped the gun here and took him off too soon because we were only hearing one side. And of course, you definitely want to be believing people when they come out and say something happened. But as so much has been revealed in the situation, it's really hard to be like 100% about, what Blake was saying in that New York Times article. I mean, we're seeing video evidence of
of things not exactly being the same as the way that she was writing them in her complaint. And so there's all these things that have happened that people are questioning. And so they're looking at WME like, I don't know if you guys maybe made the right move. I mean, I think in the end they made the right move, because why would Justin want to work with anybody that is calling him baloney? Okay, first of all. And going forward, they would probably be super biased towards him and not getting him the projects or, the things that he is wanting out of an agency if this is how they are speaking about him and if they are so close with Blake and Ryan. So I think in the end, it is the best that they're no longer together under the circumstances. Not the best, but this is just such a tricky situation. So with subpoenas now flying, Justin's texts being picked apart, and a $400 million lawsuit hanging in the balance, things are far from over. Honestly, this whole situation has been insanely messy, and it's wild how quickly a working relationship on a Colleen Hoover adaptation turned into a full-on Hollywood war, which, by the way, Colleen Hoover has returned to social media after taking a break. She ended up removing all the photos that she had with Justin and Blake, so clearly she wants this mess far away from her. But that's what's going on in this case as of right now. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.